That's right.
So it's our buddy Mike coming up next.
It is. It's Mike next. Yeah, Mike used to write a blog on the 𝘽𝙪𝙙𝙬𝙤 website. We used to call it Big Fits, and it used to get a lot of reads. It went down really well, and obviously Mike, everybody loves Mike. Is everybody's favorite big dude in denim, basically. And I thought it'd be good to speak to Mike a little bit, just because his opinions on buying a pair of jeans or buying a jacket might be different. Just as somebody wears a regular 32 and stuff like that, and Mike's very open about talking about it. So please, everybody stay on. It's still a communal conversation, obviously. But I wasn't going to pass it over to Mike, and I were hoping Mike could have a few questions. A few people would have questions for Mike and stuff like that. And yeah, just basically shooting the shit. It's not about promoting specific brands or whatever. It's about Mike telling us about how he goes about finding a fit that he likes, and how a regular taper might work for Mike and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. For anybody that's watching on YouTube, the Swedes are up. The Swedes are up.
How are they doing? Are they still hanging in?
They're back.
I think we've got to be muted, haven't we? There's no.
Yeah, they're. I don't think they're paid. They're just drinking. Yeah, but they're back up. They're going.
So if you're watching it on YouTube, please click the like on the video for the Swedes, if for nothing else, and click subscribe also. And yeah, the tickets are doing really well. We've now gone over 200. If we get over 300, I'll be really happy. 350 is my target. The link, Amanda's put it in the chats, and it's also in my bio. You can just copy and paste it. And like I've said a million times before today, but I'll keep saying it while midday tomorrow. There's over 40 different prizes. The thousands of pounds worth of gifts, basically, that you can win. It's £10 a ticket, and we've sold, 214 or whatever I just said. So, odds of winning are actually quite high. There's been some really good stuff from all the brands put in, so that's great. So, Mike, where are you, Mike? Let me have a look. Let's move on. I had you a minute ago, and now you've bounced.
I'm here.
Hey, he's here. How we doing, Mike? We all right, brother?
Good, man. I'm good. Just, pouring some bourbon.
What's your optical of choice?
Tonight, I got some Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. They make bourbon out of Vegas. Actually, they buy it from a distillery in Indiana, and then they kind of age it in their own warehouse and blend it and sell it from there. And they're kind of popular now. When they first started, they were kind of, a few people knew about them, and then all of a sudden they just blew up recently, and now it's kind of hard to get that stuff. But it's really good. The guy who runs Smoke Wagon, Aaron, super cool guy. He posts a lot of videos on Instagram, where it's like a behind the scenes of the process of blending and pouring barrels into vats and things like that. It's actually really cool. It gives you good behind the scenes of the industry. So I thought that was kind of interesting to talk about real quick, because not a lot of distilleries or bourbon makers or anything are kind of disclosing that much behind the scenes stuff, and he does a lot of videos about that. He's also kind of a funny dude, so definitely worth watching.
Is it? I mean, we it's a bit like with a lot of stuff over here. We get. You can find out the bourbons, but me personally, I don't seem to know half as much as you lot know about it. Do you guys all drink it straight? I mean, bourbon for me is a bourbon and Coke.
Yeah, I'll do bourbon and Coke if I'm drinking a crappy bourbon.
Right.
But if it's like anything halfway decent, I just drink it straight up. I will occasionally put it in an old fashioned. I do really like old fashions, but I generally tend to like very moderate, middle of the road bourbons for them. I don't want to use a really good bourbon for an old fashioned. I kind of go with just Buffalo Trace or something around the $20 some odd for a bottle range, $20 to $30 bottle range. So occasionally I'll put ice, but it's really rare. Has to be a good bourbon that can hold up to the ice.
Sorry, I'm just reading here. Dave M just said, "What about ice?" But you've just done.
Yep.
Mike.
Actually, Smoke Wagon makes a small batch that I just bought another bottle of today, actually, from my local liquor store, and that stuff really holds up to the ice. Some bourbon, you put it on ice and it loses a lot of the kick and a lot of the flavor. The Smoke Wagon small batch actually holds up to ice really well. And when I asked Aaron about it, just randomly, he's a super cool dude. So I messaged with him every once in a while. I said, dude, that small batch holds up to ice so well. He's like, yeah, I blended it for that. I like to sit outside, go in my pool, drink some bourbon on ice and smoke a cigar while lounging in the pool. He lives in Vegas, so it's hot there, during the summer especially. He's like, so I blended it to be the perfect kind of pool and cigar bourbon to have on ice, which I thought was kind of cool. So I will put that on ice among a few others.
So if I were to start trying different bourbons, because I'll be honest, I'll just drink, the obvious Jack Daniels or yeah.
Jack Daniels makes some good bourbon, but not regular Jack.
Yeah, what should you expect if I were to drink it? If I got a good bottle, I've had Bullet bourbon and stuff like that as well. I don't even know if that's a good one, Mike.
To be honest, I don't know what you guys get over there as far as bourbon goes. I'm sure you get some good stuff. It's just about knowing which ones you get.
Yeah, and it's always like, what should it taste like? Because if I were to drink a whiskey, to me it just tastes really strong. It's like, like it's almost like I can't enjoy it. It's like when I have a curry that's too hot. I can't actually taste it and enjoy it. You get
used to that. You get used to that. They call it the Kentucky hug when it burns your chest.
Yeah.
You get used to that. You drink a few, higher proof bourbons and it tastes like you're drinking straight fire. And then after a few more tries, you're like, okay, I can start getting the flavors. And then weirdly enough, your palate adapts. And now it's like anything under 100 proof, I actually sometimes struggle with. Compared to the higher proof stuff, finding flavors, within reason, obviously. If something gets too high proof, then it's just gasoline at that point. But you get used to it. Just like with anything, you get used to it. Your palate adapts.
It sounds like a hobby that I could get into, but also one that I definitely shouldn't get into.
Well, you drink a lot of light beer, and light beer is great because you can drink a lot of it.
Yeah.
Bourbon is not like that. You cannot drink a lot of bourbon. If you drink a lot of bourbon, you're going to find yourself flat on the floor. Blends is a good example. My buddy Shane, who popped on, he said Blends is a good one. If you can find it over there, Blends is a solid bourbon. One of the most classic bourbon tasting bourbons out there. That's, if you want to know what bourbon should taste like, Blends is a good example. So.
Very cool. So anyway, Mike, on to Clobber a little bit, talking about Clobber.
Yeah.
How have you been getting on? Obviously, we have worked together on a blog for, a good couple of years now. Has anything changed since we used to write up? Obviously, you were always very good at giving advice on where you were finding fits that you were comfortable with, measurements you were comfortable with, risers you were comfortable with. What are you doing at the minute when it comes to buying your Clobber? Obviously it's a bit harder for everybody at the minute buying Clobber, but let's pretend COVID hadn't happened and all that sort of stuff. But where do you find yourself searching these days? Any advice?
Yeah, I have a lot of jeans. I'm actually trying to cut down my wardrobe. I'm selling some pieces that don't really work 100%. I'm basically trying to get an ideal wardrobe where I have just a few, 3 or 4 different pairs of jeans that really fit and work for me. A couple pairs of canvas pants, a couple pairs of chinos. I'm not at all in any way one of those guys who says, well, I only need 1 or 2 pairs of jeans. It's a hobby. I want more than that, but I definitely don't need 13 pairs of jeans where I'm only wearing 1 or 2. So I'm trying to cut down, and I'm trying to find the ideal fit. So I had a pair of jeans from Eric at Fitted Underground in New York, who similarly to Ben Viapiana, he does bespoke denim. And I really liked them, but I had gotten the rise a little too low for my preference. So I sold those off, and I actually ordered the exact same pair from Eric, but with slightly different rise and slightly different measurements so that they'd be ideal for me. And I have those coming hopefully by the end of the month, I'm thinking, because I am going to join the Indigo Invitational like a super denim nerd.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to do it with those. But yeah, so I'm trying to narrow things down to stuff that really works for me, both on on a style level, but also on a comfort level. Like I don't want stuff that's super low. Like for me, super low rise doesn't work. Like I'm a bigger guy. I got a belly. I want the jeans to fit over my belly. If they fit under my belly, it just looks weird to me. And everybody's shaped differently. Like there are bigger guys who like lower rise, and that's great because they'll have a much easier time finding jeans than I do. But I prefer a higher rise. I prefer it to go above bottom of my belly, like right near my, like right under my belly button is where I like my jeans to fall. And I like a good back rise so that they're not falling down the crack of my ass, so to speak, when I bend over. Yeah. So that's a little TMI. But you know, you got to know your preferences. And I think in getting back to kind of the overall overarching point is that knowing your fit is really what it comes down to, and knowing what works for you. And that's not really a big guy thing. That's just an everybody thing. Yeah. Everybody can benefit from knowing what works for them. You know, if it's low rise, great. If it's mid rise, great. If it's high rise, great. Just know that that's what works, and don't waste your money on stuff that doesn't. And you know, I've dabbled in, well, I really like that and it kind of works, so I'll give it a try. Nah, it doesn't work. Or I really like this brand, so I'm going to give it a try, even though I know it's probably not going to work. And then lo and behold, it doesn't work. So I'm trying to avoid doing that and just going with stuff that I know is going to work. You know, and the stuff that doesn't, just because it doesn't work for me doesn't make it bad. It's just not going to work for me. You know.
What sort of denim are you into these days? What sort of rounds denim? And
I definitely like the 15 ounce and above. I don't really, lightweight denim isn't really my thing. I do have a couple pairs of lighter weight denim. Like my original, I think my first pair of blue jeans are Railcar X 001s, which is like his original Cone Mills 13.5 ounce denim. And they're killer. I still have them. They're great. They're really nice summer denim. And they actually have probably my most pronounced fades because I've had them so long. But yeah, I mean, generally I kind of want, if I'm wearing jeans, I want to know I'm wearing jeans. I kind of want 15 ounce or above. So the ones I ordered from Eric are 16 ounce. I actually just ordered a pair of the Okayama Denim PBJs, which are the Kakashibu ones, which I think they come in at like 18 ounce. So I ordered those. I'm really hoping that the rise isn't too low. It was kind of like right on the edge of maybe this will work. So if it doesn't work, I can always resell them. And I think I can probably make my money back or pretty close. So it's not the end of the world, but I want to give them a try. They looked really cool. But yeah, generally heavier weight. Actually, right now I'm in the market for like a heavyweight black denim. I want something like 18 ounce black and kind of neppy, which is awesome, but I can't find it. So I just got to keep badgering Ben until he brings it in for me. So are you hoping to wear the PBJs for the Indigo Invitational? No, I'm gonna wear the jeans I get from Eric at Fitted Underground. I think they'll be here by the end of the month. So
should be able to make it.
Wear those, and they're really nice. They're a 16 ounce. He calls it their masterpiece denim from Nihon Nenpu. It's really nice denim. I had some. I didn't quite. The fit didn't quite work for me, so I sold them off, and I reordered them in my size. They should be pretty awesome. Yeah. And I know how they fade, and they fade really cool. So,
I'm sorry, what weight are those ones in, Mike?
16.
They're 16, yeah.
I believe they're 16. So, and they're a real starchy 16. They're not a light 16. So they're definitely good.
Yeah, very cool. And what are you rocking jacket wise?
Well, it's summer here, so I'm trying not to wear jackets. But man, I got more jackets than anybody in Southern California has any right to own. To be honest. Just ridiculous.
What is it about blokes and jackets? I've had 3 on since we've been doing this.
Jackets are really cool. I just like jackets. I like layering. You know, I think most denim heads like layering. It's like we like clothes. The more clothes we can put on, the better, right? You know. So yeah, I mean, I have a few really cool jackets. I have the Railcar Chorco, which is a modern classic. I have a waxed canvas from Encampment Co., which is really cool. It's got a zipper and buttons over. Mike's on here, yeah, he knows. Really cool stuff. Really awesome jacket. And the nice thing about that is it's actually a little roomy for me, so I can wear like a sweatshirt underneath if it ever gets that cold. in Southern California, which it never is. But if I like travel somewhere where it's cold, then it's perfect because I can wear a sweatshirt underneath.
Yeah.
I have a heritage coat from 𝘽𝙤𝙤, Native American owned brand, based out of Oregon, and that thing is Pendleton lined, and dude, it's beautiful. It's like a work of art. That thing is amazing. Once again, probably not going to wear it too often because Southern California, but I have it. You know,
you never know.
At some point, you got to admit the fact that like you just like something and you buy it because you like it, not because you need it in any way. So I have more jackets than I need. So, but I haven't bought jackets in a while. I know I need to go out to Wyoming. My mom keeps telling me as well, Mike. My mom lives in Cody, Wyoming, which isn't super far from Mike. So I definitely will visit. We'll visit Mike when I get out there.
I think when you used to write the blogs for us, I think you one of them were based around a jacket that you bought from Mike. What, a denim jacket? No.
Yeah, so I have a Type 3. I have a Type 3 denim jacket that I actually helped Mike with the sizing and the fit on. Yeah. He wanted a XXL that was an actual XXL. Not to belittle any other brands in any way, but a lot of brands out there don't have sizing that's even remotely appropriate for American size. A XXL, for example, that fits like a large isn't really my idea of a XXL. So Mike wanted to do it right. He hit me up before he even made the pattern for it, and we discussed some fits and kind of what I look for. And he created a pattern, sent it to me. I sent it back with some modifications, and he killed it. He did an awesome pattern with an XXL. I was happy to help, happy to be a part of that, and he's been killing it ever since as well. So.
Yeah, that's really cool.
For anybody who's not familiar with 𝘽𝙤𝙤 𝘍, he's got a panel coming up at one panel after mine.
It's two. We've got two panels. So when this chat's done, there'll be two others, and then Mike.
Yeah, but definitely try to stick around for that because Mike's a one-man show, just like Ben, just like Eric. He's out there doing the Instagram, sewing the jackets and the pants and the jeans and doing everything by himself, so it should be pretty cool to hear him talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. So what's happening? I've got to touch on it just because I haven't seen much of it lately, and obviously you've not been able to do anything for months and months. But what's happening with the LA? Your LA crew.
I'll be honest, man. I don't know too much about the LA crew, dude. Everybody moved away. So Jess has always been an honorary member, and she's amazing. She did the Denim Bingo just now. She's awesome, and she'll always be an honorary member. What she's a member of at this point, I mean, there's a few of us left. I think it's just LA Denim Hangs is a universal kind of thing. Like everybody's a little bit of a part of it because we inspired a lot of the other Denim Hangs. But
yeah, for sure.
I mean, Jesus moved to Colorado, Frank moved to Colorado, Isaac moved to Colorado. Joe's a sheriff now, and he's kind of not been into the denim. I mean, he still posts once in a while, but he's kind of not been into that for a little bit. So it's pretty much just me and Greg, and that's really about it, man. Greg, and Will, basically, in those Johns is we're holding down the fort, man.
Well, your legacy lives on in all the other hangs that's come about from it, so that's at least. I appreciate that.
No, there's so many really great denim hangs across the U.S. now that I think got at least a little bit of an inspiration from us. So I'm proud and happy about that to have been a part of that. But yeah, we're so scattered now. I basically have to take over, and I don't have time for that to take over as like the head. Greg and I would have to kind of collaborate, and he's busy with this. I'm busy with that. I work 10-hour days, have my kid. I don't have time for it. So it's more of a LA Denim Hangs as a concept than an actual activity. Plus with COVID, it's not like we can hang out. It's really rough. So that's why this is so cool. The Global Denim Hangs online. I mean, at least you're bringing people together and talking about cool shit.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's we've just got a comment coming. If anybody's got any questions for Mike, please fire them in. Either just speak up or drop a message on the Zoom group chat for the link, and obviously we can read it out for you. That's not a problem. Denim Mindset says, "What's up with your necklace?"
Yeah, so it's like a brass eagle type looking thing, I guess, or falcon. I don't know. My girlfriend got it for me. She knows I like brass. It's really cool. It came from Cold Classic Leather. I guess she saw it online and knew I'd like it, so she got it for me. No big story. I just like it.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Would you mind going into a little bit more detail about how you like help out with that like the design? I was really interested in how you contributed to like the jacket design and blocking. I don't do any type of artistical like drawing or anything like that, and was wondering what your process is, how you contribute there.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I saw your message on the chat, and I was actually in the middle of responding to it. But I'll do it for everybody. I did nothing special. I basically I gave him some measurements that I thought would work for me. He basically sewed up a jacket and sent it to me. I gave him some feedback on what worked, what didn't, and how I'd change it, or like what measurements would work better. And Mike has given me far too much credit. Yeah, I mean, I didn't draw anything. I didn't sew anything. I didn't cut anything. I didn't do any patterning. I didn't create a CAD draft of anything. I just basically said, here's where other brands screw up for me. Here's where, I'd like to be, or what I'd like to see. See what you can do. And then he did, and sent me a sample, and it was almost perfect. I sent him back some feedback, and he sent me a jacket, and it was pretty much perfect. So really, I just had a little bit of input on the sizing. As far as the actual work that was done to it, that's all Mike. He's just a killer in that. So
no, that's awesome. That's my speed too, by the way. I don't do any sewing yet.
Well, I mean, dude, you got a lot of resources right here. Mike, Ben, Viana, I mean, Eric at Fitted Underground, Steven at Railcar. I mean, there are lots of one-man makers or small makers. Like Railcar isn't a one-man maker, obviously, but they manufacture in-house, and they're all really nice people. And I think they all are none of them are above helping other people out with advice or suggestions or whatnot. So they're all pretty grounded type people.
For sure.
Yeah,
thank you.
Good luck with that. Yeah, no problem, dude.
Oops, sorry, I just muted myself. Sorry about that, Mike. Yeah, it's. I bet it was a very satisfying process for you, even though you feel like you didn't do anything. And I know that you will have spent time actually doing.
I did a little, but it was definitely satisfying. It was satisfying in a way that it felt like what my page is and what my page is about was accomplishing something, right? So, I mean, my page has always been, I'm like everybody else. I want to mildly narcissistically show off the shit I buy and how cool it looks or whatever. But I wanted it to be a little bit more too, especially considering I kind of inadvertently took on the mantle of like fat guy who wears denim for everyone. And I wanted to kind of bring that to the forefront of my page. And I don't want it to all be about that, but I definitely want that to be a part of it. So like brands know, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Freenote. I bug Andrew and Matt, the two brothers at Freenote, all the damn time to make stuff in my size. Like they know, they love me, but they also find me incredibly annoying. Nice, but incredibly annoying, because that is my job. That is literally my job for everyone like me out there, is to harass and harass and harass politely until I get my way. And my way is that they start making stuff in a 40 or 42 or 44 or 46 and up. And so that's basically what I do. I just annoy people politely until they either succumb to my requests or tell me to get bent. And I've had a lot of people tell me to get bent also politely, which is fine. But that's basically what I do. I try to do it as nicely as possible, but I try to keep the pressure on so that they don't forget.
It's Leron has just sent a message saying thank you for that, which I think to you saying that you polite people.
Somebody's got to do it, I figure, why not me? If not me, who's gonna? And if somebody else wants to do it, dude, hop on board, man. Let's do this together. I'm down. Like, I'll share. There's no glory to be had. It's just more cool shit for us to buy. So that's the way I look at it. And as far as brands go, if any brands are out there saying, I don't know if I could sell a 40 or a 42 or 44, there are brands doing it right now. There are brands selling those sizes right now, having no difficulties, moving those products, and there's no reason not to jump on board. Now, if you're worried about larger size people wearing your clothes and how that looks, then I would say that you're a piece of shit anyway, and you can just keep it to yourself. So I do have strong opinions.
Abercrombie.
Yeah, Abercrombie. If you're an Abercrombie, then yeah, I don't want your business anyway. I don't want to buy your product. If you're worried about what fat dudes look like in your clothes, you're not my marketplace anyway. So, but yeah, if you're down to work with me, I can help guide. I can help in any way I can. I can crowdsource like clientele. Done it before. I can make that work for brands if they're hesitant. But I would really like brands that I love. Brands that are doing things that I like, to do those things for people who are sized like me. 316 is a great example of a brand that has just recently, in my opinion, started making stuff that actually fits once in a while for me in a double X. They were a brand where I think when I was talking to Mike, I flat out told Andrew, I'm like, dude, a triple X and a 316 type 3, and I can't button it. That's not okay. Like, that's not the kind of sizing that I want to see out there in the world. Yeah. If you want to call that an XL, that's cool. If you want to call it a double XL, it's a stretch. But a triple XL and I can't button it, dude, that's not cool. Yeah. So I don't know if they listen to me or if they just listen to a market research or if they just decided to change things up and go for a more loose fit or whatever. But they've been making some stuff that's a little more relaxed in the sizing, a little less tapered, a little less, And I realize there are people out there who are skinny, love the tapered stuff, and I don't want to take that away from them either. But throw a bone our way once in a while, and we'll be happy.
I think a lot of time it's about the brands, especially the smaller ones, basically wanting to go through a process that Mike went through with you. Actually reaching out and speaking to somebody and getting the job done right. A lot of the time, maybe some people don't feel confident doing that, or they don't feel like they've got the time to do that. But it sounds like Mike from Encampment did that with you, and now he's got a pattern. All his double XLs are based on that work that he did with you. So surely that does work. So yeah, I
feel like it does, and Mike has done a great job of getting his brand out there and letting guys like me know that it exists and it caters to them. It's there for them as far as jackets and stuff go. I think he even does. Mike, you do a triple X too. That's even bigger than a double X, right? So he's out there for bigger guys than me, and I'm not. It's weird. As far as big guys go, I'm actually on the low end of big guys. Mm-hmm. There's much bigger guys than me that are out there trying to get cool clothes. I have a much easier job than some of these cats out there, and they're hitting me up like, dude, you're not even big. What are you talking about? I'm like, hey, look, there's levels. I'm trying to advocate for everybody, but it's small steps. So there's definitely room to grow, so to speak, as far as brands and sizing. And I'd love to see that.
Definitely. What are you doing boot-wise these days?
Oh, dude, I got too many boots, dude. Let's not talk about that. No, I just bought some Whites boots, custom Whites boots from Baker's Boot, and they're really cool. I'm picky, and I wanted some vegetable tanned leather, so I had them order some leather specifically from Wickett and Craig for me, which they have an account with and they could do. So they ordered some leather from Wickett and Craig, some veg tanned oiled Latigo leather, and sent it over to Whites along with my request. I got a pair of boots back that are just absolutely gorgeous. They're amazing. I've worn them once because of COVID, so they're just sitting there looking pretty. So I did get, and it's summer, and they're like 7-inch tall, big, giant, bulky boots. So I'm not trying to wear them on like 90-degree days. But my buddy Will in those Johns, he sold me a pair of the Withered Fig Viberg collab, the mushroom chamois rough out Oxfords that they had, and those are kick ass, dude. I wear them a lot. They're really awesome, and I got a really crazy good deal from him since we're buddies, and so I've been wearing those a lot lately. Mark Albert, who was going to be on the last panel but had a issue. He had a pair of derbies that I bought, and I wear those like crazy right now. Actually, low cut is kind of what I wear right now, dude, because it's summer. So I'll throw on a pair of jeans or throw on some railcar flight trousers, some chinos or whatever, and I'll throw on, some derbies or something like that. So, I let my mankles breathe. If anybody sees my Instagram, I talk about my mankles. Gotta let them breathe during summer, man.
I've found, especially over the last 12 months, the amount of variation in boots you see on these pictures on Instagram has grown tremendously.
Well, there's a lot of options out there now. I mean, I mean, just coming out of Indonesia in and of itself, and China too. Flame Panda out of China.
Yeah,
the guy is making amazing boots, and he's doing it at a price range that is similar or just under Viberg, or maybe a little over Truman. But he's doing it by himself, one man show, and his quality is. I mean, there's not a lot of boot brands out there doing quality boots like that guy is.
And what was that name again, Mike? If you don't mind.
Flame Panda. Flame Panda. He's got some awesome boots. Underhoud out of Indonesia. I'll put it in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah. Underhoud is an Indonesian boot maker. He's making some amazing stuff, really cool stuff, amazing quality control, attention to detail, fit and finish. And then there's the classic ones that are still just doing great and keep getting better, like Cigara, Santalum. I mean, you can get a pair of boots from Indonesia for like $350 that are just as good, if not better, than $800 boots here. You know, I mean, so there's no, the idea that you can't find quality overseas and ethical quality. In fact, I mean, these guys are, they're one-man makers, a lot of them, and they're doing it from themselves. It's not like they're running a sweatshop. I mean, they're killing it.
It's like got said earlier, Mike. It's been mentioned a few times. It's not where it's made; it's how it's made.
Yeah, it's how it's made, 100%. And as a big guy, it's interesting to come back to that real quick. A lot of the issue I have is that I want to be, we control, in terms of making a difference in the world, most of us can only control little bits and pieces, right? One of the bits and pieces I try to control is like, hey, you know what? I want my clothing to be fairly ethically made, or as close to ethically made as I can accomplish. Being a bigger guy makes it harder. I can go to Old Navy or Gap and buy shit my size every day. No problem. Stuff that fits. In fact, stuff that often fits better than, stuff that I'd rather buy. But it's going to fall apart quicker. It's not ethically made. It's made in a sweatshop. Like I feel like I'm not spending my money wisely or I don't know, honorably, I guess is the way I'd put it. I want to make a difference in how I spend my money, especially when it comes to my clothes. And because that's like one of the only differences I can really make, like I'm going to buy ethically made clothes if I can,
It's and it's hard earned money as well, Mike. You know what I mean? So you want it to go to the right place. I understand that. We have got a question again from, I want to say M.A. Woody. But I feel like I'm not introducing you properly, brother. You're the man with the best smile I've ever seen in my life.
Appreciate you. It's Mauna, but Maude.
Maude, lovely. I'm just going to write that down.
Sizing wise, do you mean with the Indonesian brands?
Exactly.
Yeah, so most of the Indonesian brands go true to size, but most of them will have you send in like drawing outline of your foot. They'll have you stand and trace your foot, and then give them the sizes you wear in like other boot brands and stuff like that. And that generally, you're generally going to find that most of them run true to size. Like my cigars, my 𝙬𝙤𝙖𝙧𝙀, they're pretty much true to size. So whatever your Brannick is, that's going to work for them. They usually use European sizing. So I'm like an 11. So Brannick would be a 44 to 44 and a half. And that generally runs pretty good. The only caveat to that if you have like really like narrow feet, or if you have slightly wider feet, like I'm an E width rather than a double E, and rather than a D, which is regular width, I'm like right in between. And most of the Indonesian brand, like I have 2 pairs of 𝙬𝙤𝙧𝙀s and 1 pair of cigars, and they all fit fine in a regular width. I don't have to size up or have them modify their last to accommodate a wider foot. So basically true to size, but they'll have you do measurements. They'll have you trace your foot.
Okay. So like when you say true to size, just for some of those that may not be on Boot Game, I've got tons of, I have several Vibergs and Aldens, and I wear 10 and a half in those. Like Barry, 10 and a half. Viberg 2030, 10 and a half.
What do you wear generally in like Nike?
In a Nike or a New Balance, 12 and a half.
So there's something
my foot's on the narrower side, and I'm effed. But like I promise you, I used to work with footwear podiatrists, and they would laugh at me. But yeah.
No, I mean that's cool. That's a huge difference, though. So, like for example, I'm in a Nike, I wear like an 11 wide, and in most boot brands, I wear a 10 and a half.
Yep.
But in Indonesian brands, I wear basically the equivalent of an 11. So when I say true to size, I generally say true to size to your Brannick. If you've ever had a Brannick measurement, that like metal thing they put on your foot. Yep. So whatever your Brannick is, generally what Indonesian brands are gonna be sized at. Okay. But you sound like you have super weird feet. No offense.
They're beautiful looking and they're narrow, but weird when it comes to sizing.
Svelte feet. You have very svelte, very streamlined feet, and but I would just get a Brannick, get a up-to-date Brannick, and then you'll kind of know what your Brannick size is, and that will generally be true to size. But with the Indonesian brands, considering you're so far down from your Brannick with Viberg and whatnot, I would definitely trace your foot and just send them the tracing, and they'll determine. They've never done me wrong with determining the best fit.
Awesome.
They're pretty good about that. So all of them are really good. 𝙬𝙤𝙧𝙀, Cigara, 𝘬𝙀𝙬𝙀, Professor Barnett's, Junkard. God, there's so many now, dude. And they're all making great stuff at totally affordable prices in the boot world. It's kind of crazy. So I don't want to diverge too much on this chat to like all boots, but I mean, hit me up on Instagram or on the WhatsApp chat or whatever, and we can talk about it more. But it's there's a lot of great stuff out there to be had. So
cheers.
Yeah.
Mike, what is it you do for a living day to day?
Nothing exciting at all. I wish it were exciting. No, I work as a dispatcher and logistics service rep for a company that sells rock, sand, and asphalt.
Oh, right.
The company is called 𝘬𝙤𝙜 Materials, and we're nationwide. We used to be on like the Fortune 500 when I first started, but that ship has long since sailed. But it's a big company. It's a good company. It's a good company to work for. I won't lie and say I love my job, but I love my benefits, and I'm happy with the pay. So it's a good job for the time being. It's a good job. It's a career. Maybe one day I'll move on to something else, but for now it's good. Keeps me with a roof over my head, keeps my kid fed and clothed, and keeps me in boots and denim. So I'm happy.
What else do you need? What else do you need?
Exactly. And bourbon.
That's it, and bourbon, yeah, of course. I think there might only be me that's not drinking bourbon right now. Oh, sweet tobacco. All right, lads.
I was trying to find out what they were drinking earlier, but I think they're just in their own world there.
The last update we got was gin and tonic. So
all right.
Has anybody else got any questions for Mike? Anybody else want to touch on anything? Because me and Mike can just talk rubbish.
Hey, Mike.
Like, hey, Leron, I'll pass you over, buddy.
Amanda, did you actually get a message from my girlfriend asking if I wanted a Popeye sandwich? That's so weird. She could have just texted me. Anyway, no.
She's tried to text you, apparently.
Really? So she has.
And I got the message through 𝘽𝙤𝙬𝙪. So
that is so weird. Wow, thank you for that. That is remind me to yell at her.
Can I place an order?
Yeah, sure. What do you guys need? We're ordering Popeyes.
Leron, nice to see you again, buddy. I remember you from the last time.
Yeah.
Quite a few sessions, buddy. I think you just had a question for Mike, so I'm just going to pass it over to you two.
Well, I was just wanted to say thank you for everything you do. I found your Instagram site, and it's always been an inspiration as a fellow big man, and just going through the struggle of being a denim head and a boot fan. Boots haven't been that hard, but denim has been somewhat harder to find. So
yeah, denim's tough. Denim's tough. I'll tell you right now. I mean, off the top of my head, the go-to for me for bigger guys with denim is Railcar, 100%. Charles at CMB Denim, he's on the chat. He's on the stream. He's making stuff for bigger guys like you and me. And then obviously you can always go bespoke too. I mean, you could do Eric at Fitted Underground. You could do Ben via Piana. These are guys who are going to make stuff to your specifications. The only key to that is you really need to know what works for you, what your measurements are. As long as you're good on that, like bespoke is a great way to go, because for me, just to give an example, Railcar out of the box is probably the best fit I've found. It's a good high rise, pretty good taper on their spikes fit. Out of the box, it's the best fitting selvage denim I've been able to find. That being said, I usually hem and taper everything. So when you add the cost of like the hem and the taper, sometimes it gets close to bespoke territory depending on the denim you're buying. So it's almost more cost effective, or at least somewhat cost effective, to go bespoke at least occasionally, because you're getting exactly what you want. So that helps. I'm 6 foot, Mike. 6 foot. So anyway, so that's a good way to go. I mean, you've been I'm sure you followed my page, what brands I'm wearing, generally speaking. So, but yeah, I mean, ideally you just want to get, like, for me, it took a while to figure out exactly what I like. And it was a transition, at first I wanted something really slim and really tapered. And, now I want something kind of in between. I don't want something super slim and super tapered, but I don't want something straight leg and wide. I want something that tapers but isn't like peg leg. So it takes a little time, and unfortunately, for me, it took a little money. it took spending some money on stuff that doesn't quite work for me, and you just I took that hit, and I try to let everybody know after me that you don't have to take that hit. Just figure out what works and then just order that stuff, and you'll be good to go. Ryan, favorite cigar? It's tough, man. That's real tough. I want to say Monte Cristo number 2 with some age on it, maybe, but also maybe a Partagas Series D number 5. Those are both Cubans. As far as non-Cubans go, there's a Partagas 150 that came out like a while ago. They don't make it anymore. It was with pre-Cuban tobacco, supposedly, or some pre-Castro, I don't know, pre-embargo Cuban tobacco or something. Whatever the case, it was very expensive here, and it was almost always worth it, every one I had. But they're pretty pricey. Like now they're few and far between, so they're even more expensive. But at the time when you could actually go into a shop and find them, I think they were like $25 a piece. They're kind of crazy expensive. As far as things you can just easily buy right now, Oliva Series V Milanios are great. Oliva Master Blends are great. I don't know. I like Oliva. My father, like John was saying, my father cigars make some really good stuff. I have a few of those. I don't know, man. I'm still trying to, Liga. Yeah. Shane mentioned Liga. Liga Privada makes awesome stuff. Once again, I'm not trying to spend that much usually, but if I find a good deal on Liga Privada, I will absolutely buy some Ligas. Just kind of depends on your preference, but yeah, I'm trying to get a little more into non-Cuban cigars because they're a lot easier to smoke right away, and I tend to smoke right away. Not really good at aging things. Cuban cigars are really good if you put some age on them, but they're pretty green if you just buy a box and open it up and light one up. They're not going to taste the same as if you age them for a couple of years. So, yeah. I don't know if that's a great answer, but it's my answer.
As far as cigar smoking goes, which is something that I've never really done either, is this what you don't smoke cigars like you smoke cigarettes, do you? Surely.
No, I don't care for cigarettes. So cigar smoking for me is it's a calming activity. It's something where you sit down, you have a drink. I mean, it could be a coffee, it could be a soda, it could be a Topo Chico, whatever. It could be a beer or bourbon or port, but or nothing. You just sit down, you relax, take a puff on your cigar every 45, 60 seconds. You just think about what you want to think about, do what you want to do. You can watch YouTube, check out your Instagram page, read a book, learn a craft. I don't know, but it's just a very just sit there and just do something on your own type deal. I mean, it can be social. Obviously, I've smoked with friends and stuff like that. When Shane came out here, we smoked a cigar almost every night, I just find it to be a really calming, enjoyable activity, and I like the flavor of a good cigar. I've never had a cigarette where I was like, oh, that tastes good. Cigarettes are more for getting that nicotine buzz and just moving on to the next thing. And that's not really what a cigar is for me. You will get a nicotine buzz, but it's a different kind of nicotine buzz too. You don't inhale a cigar. That's part of it. If you do inhale a cigar, you'll get that nicotine buzz super fast and really hard. And it's not good. So yeah, they're very different things to me.
So would you have, what is it, like one cigar a day or just 2 or 3 a week?
Lately, so before the whole Western United States was on fire like it is right now, I would go out, I would say 4 times a week and have a cigar 3 to 4 times a week. With COVID lockdown, I definitely increased my cigar smoking quite a bit. There wasn't really much else to do. I get off work and it's like, oh, if on the days I don't have my kids, for those who don't know, I have a 5-year-old son. He spends half the time with me, half the time with his mom. We're not together. And on the days I don't have my kiddo, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to go out and have a cigar. Sometimes on the days I do have my kiddo, if he's zoned out in front of the TV, I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to go out and have a cigar. So I will, I'll go out and I'll just, pour myself a little bourbon or grab a beer, whatever, and I'll go out and have a cigar. And I don't know, to me, it's just, it's me time, it's relaxing time. Sometimes I'll hang out with my neighbor, next door, and we'll have a cigar together, or we'll have a beer or something. But it's something to do at the end of the day that's relaxing and isn't work and is slightly outside of my house, which is rare nowadays with the whole COVID thing. So, and of course, right now, the fires are screwing up every aspect of me getting out of the house. Although I did get a haircut today, guys. I went and got a haircut. So at least I got out of the house and did something. But yeah, I mean, getting out of the house is so hard right now. So, going out and smoking a cigar and hanging out, that's really all I got right now for getting out.
I wondered why you weren't wearing a hat. Now I know.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, before COVID, I was, maybe a cigar or 2 a week. But since COVID, I'm like up to probably 4 a week, I'd say.
And like you said, you don't inhale them. So it's not even like you're smoking. You just enjoy the experience.
If you don't inhale them, you're more likely to get mouth cancer than like lung cancer. Not that one's better than the other by any means. They're both pretty shitty. And I don't want to get any of them. But yeah, cigars are different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very cool. We just had a message in saying, have to say you guys are keeping this interesting. I have the Lakers versus the Rockets on mute.
Well, I'll take that as a damn compliment any day, man.
I mean,
if you got the Lakers on mute, dude, I must be doing something right.
If it's all like watching football over here, because I've had that on sort of outside of me while it's been on. While there's no crowds in, you might as well watch it on mute anyway.
I mean, there's no crowds here with any of our sporting events right now, so
yeah,
it's that way across the world. I see Doug.
College football had
smoking a pipe. I do like pipes, Greaser Doug. I just I'm really shitty at packing the pipe, so I can't really get a good burn going. They tend to go out pretty easily, and I just don't have the patience.
Is a pipe?
I have some of the same problem myself.
Yeah, it's an acquired skill. Something I hope to acquire one day, but I do occasionally will opt for a pipe instead and do that. So.
I'm guessing you don't inhale pipes either, then.
No, same thing. You don't want to inhale those.
I'm just trying to find a way to help me stop smoking here. Can I take up one of these hobbies and then do it 3 times a week and it'll stop me smoking? Who knows? Amanda says, "What's your favorite coffee, Mike? Or are you a coffee connoisseur?" Or
I'm big into coffee. And I mean, just for clarity's sake, when I say coffee, I mean like just black coffee, not espresso or any of the cappuccino or anything like that. I do like that stuff. It's just not my usual preference. I order coffee from Corvus Coffee in Denver. I order coffee from Say Coffee in New York. I just got some coffee from Sweet Bloom that I heard was good, but I haven't tried it yet. I don't know where they're from. Ethnos Coffee is really good. Generally, I mean, there are a lot of really great coffee roasters out there, and all of them are going to be pretty good. It's more about how fresh the beans are, how good your grind is, how good your water is, and your process. I use a pour over 99% of the time. Just a Hario V60 pour over and make a single cup. I have a Chemex, which I use when my girlfriend and I are both drinking coffee so that I can make more than 1 cup at a time. Also, it's a pour over. I find that to be kind of the best way to make coffee. There are really good like drip coffee makers, and you can use a French press or an AeroPress. There's all these different ways to make coffee. I just prefer a pour over. I find it easy and works good. Works well. And I don't know. Yeah, coffee's great. If you guys don't like coffee, I don't know. Start liking coffee. Coffee's amazing. I would give up bourbon for coffee. I would give up cigars for coffee.
Really?
Yeah, no, I would. Coffee is my number. As far as vices go, Ben, that's my number one. That's my favorite vice.
That sounds like probably the best vice to have, though.
It's probably the healthiest vice, depending. I mean, but yeah, it's. I really like coffee. I drink probably 2 pour overs on average a day. I also make my own cold brew, so I will occasionally have cold brew after my 2 cups. I drink a decent amount of coffee. I can drink coffee and go to bed. Like most people drink coffee and they're wired. No, I can drink coffee, go right to bed. I can have an espresso, go right to bed. No problem.
Yeah,
probably because I'm just so desensitized to caffeine now, but I just like the taste. I really like coffee. Good coffee is great, and I love good coffee.
Yeah. There's a few people agreeing with you in the comments about being able to drink coffee and go to bed by the looks. To be fair, I drink very little coffee, but whenever I do drink coffee, I can also go to bed quite easily. So yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, see, I mean, a lot of people can't. You're in a small, awesome group there, Ben. Caffeine addicts. So congratulations.
We'll have to start our own little Instagram community. The niche. So anyway, Mike, we've got 10 minutes left. So just to challenge you with a bit of a question. You've already heard it once tonight. I haven't asked everybody. I'm only doing it with certain people so it don't get boring. But what would you take if I dropped you on a desert island right now?
Here we go.
It's going to be warm. It's going to be warm. It's also going to have tropical rain. 4 items of clothing, a book, a film, an album, and I'll leave you with your last meal before you defend for yourself.
All right, I'm not going to remember all that. So let's start with the clothes. I will say my new Whites boots, my fitted underground jeans that I haven't gotten yet, but I know I'm going to love. I'll say let's just say, I don't know, t-shirt, Desert Island, you're going to want a t-shirt. So I'll just say my Naked and Famous. I have like a kimono patch t-shirt I just got. It's cool for a t-shirt, so I'll say that.
Yeah.
What is that, 3? Is that 3?
That's 3.
You said 4, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So it's a hat or a jacket, isn't it?
Yeah, because I need a good jacket that'll help me with the rain. So I'd say my Encampment Co. waxed canvas jacket, not because Mike's on here, but also because it zips, so it'll help keep water. It zips and buttons, so it'll help keep water out.
Yeah, practical.
Practical. I do have other waxed canvas jackets, but they don't zip. And Mike's is perfect for desert rainstorms. I don't know, desert island rainstorms, because it zips and buttons both. And I'm gonna cheat and add my Heritage and Hide waxed canvas jacket or waxed canvas hat, because it's waxed and it's a hat, so it'll help keep water off my head. So that's like 4.5. There's 4.5. Give me the hat.
I'll give you the hat.
And then what was the next one? My favorite film?
Film, book, album.
Okay. Well,
You have to watch it forever, really.
My favorite film would be, damn, that's tough, man. I got a lot of, there's a lot of great movies out there. How do you pick one? Okay, I'll just say, because I've been talking about it recently for some reason quite a bit, I'll just say No Country for Old Men.
Okay, I watched that a couple of weeks back.
Great flick.
Yeah.
One of the best. Weird bit of trivia. There is no music in No Country for Old Men, no score, no soundtrack of any kind. There's like background music here and there, but there's no actual music overlaid onto the video or the film.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's no fancy effects. There's no cuts or transitions or anything. It just goes from scene to scene to scene with no effects.
It's a proper film.
Cool.
Proper film.
Yeah. And then as far as an album goes, dude, anything by Tool. Just give me one Tool album and I'll be happy. I really like Tool.
You can have best of.
Yeah, there you go. Best of. If they ever come out with a best of, I'll take it. What was the last one? Last Meal?
You've got a book and a meal.
A book and a meal. A book and a meal. Man, I don't know about a book, man. There's a lot of great books out there. I don't know. I'm going to want something that's super entertaining, not something that's super intellectually stimulating. So I'm going to go with something written by Dean Koontz or something written by, I forget the dude's name, the guy who does all the Jack Reacher books, not to be confused with the Jack Reacher films with Tom Cruise. Totally different. The books are great.
Yeah.
So I'll go with any of those, any Jack Reacher book or any Dean Koontz book.
There's a really good set of Dean Koontz books. I won't read them all. It's about a guy, I forgot his name now. He lives in a desert somewhere in America and you can see ghosts, see dead people.
Yeah. That they actually made a crappy movie of that.
Yeah, it was completely crap and all.
Yeah, it was really bad. Well, pretty much every Dean Koontz book turned into a movie is pretty damn bad, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was I can't remember the name either. I guess I've had too much bourbon. Somebody knows it.
If we remember that, we'll have to put it in comments if everybody knows. It's there's about 3 or 4 of them, isn't there? You can see dead people and
they're good. Odd Thomas.
Odd Thomas, that's it. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, great books. As far as meal goes, I don't know, man. I'd take a medium rare fillet or a medium rare ribeye steak and some asparagus and a good bourbon and call it a day.
Good one. I love it. Has anybody got anything else they want to say before we start to move on? Are we all happy? We've got CMBD coming up. Charles is talking about denim and mental health. And then Charles's Mrs. Cara is coming on for the hour afterwards for her own subject. And it should be fun. Well, it definitely will be fun. We'll know Charles. Well, a lot of people know Charles anyway, but if anybody watched the last Global Denim Hang, Charles was a part of that as well. Charles, I just need to find you, buddy. Just give me 1 second. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. People are subscribing, which is really good, and people are liking, which is also really good. Like I said, there is a rugged raffle to raise money for Save the Children, which we run alongside this event because we do it for free. And, well, our team does it for free, and then all the guest speakers and everybody that commits also does it for free. So it's nice to raise money for people a little less fortunate. The link to the raffle is in my bio, and there's 41 prizes which have been donated by well, some amazing brands that are involved in the day, really, and some actually that we didn't manage to get on the lineup but still donated prizes, which is lovely. Amanda's just updated me. We're now up to 220 tickets sold, so we are getting there. We are getting there. We will get there. Let me have a look. So I'm going to unmute you very soon, Charles. And is your good lady on here as well? Let me have a look, because I can unmute you both. Whoop. What name am I looking for, buddy?
You looking hey babe, looking for DC Denim Hangs.
Oh.
Natalie.
Yeah. Give me 1 sec. I've seen that already. Hey, Natalie. Right, brilliant. Natalie, I'm just going to make you a co-host because basically you're going straight on after Charles. So you've got them privileges already. And then Mike's on after you from Encampment, and he's already classed as a co-host. So technically that's the next 3 hours where I can just sit back and relax and watch.
You guys are lucky I was never made a co-host.
Yeah. No, you. That's only because there were 2 of us. And then after Mike's finished his chat, we are actually then swinging over to Japan for Samurai, TCB, and Full Count, which should be fun. So yeah. Charles, the floor is all yours, my friend.